start off with the problem. We have a rod of mass m length L hinged at the center. To them, something like this came in the exam. Find alpha of the rod at this instant. Others, keep your cams on. Find alpha of the rod at this instant. Answers?
Six G by L.
Let's see. So what you have to do first thing, torque. Attach the rods at the masses at the edge. 2 mg, mg. So what is the torque about the hinge? This will be L by 2. L by 2. This would be 2 mg L by 2 minus mg L by 2. Mg L by 2. What is I of the system? I of the rod plus I of m. Other scans on Jia, Kanan, Shrey. I to m. This would be ml square by 12. M into L by 2 whole square. 2m into L by 2 whole square. That would be ml square by 12. Ml square by 4 plus ml square by 2. That thing turns out to be 3 by 4, na? 3, 9 by 10, 5 ml square by 6. Alpha would be torque by I. Three G by 5L. Check. Any particular step we didn't get or I got it wrong? Clear? Next one. Turn in the page. The next concept. Angular momentum. This is the last concept in rotational mechanics. The main thing about angular momentum, right? If you know how to calculate angular momentum, problems are quite easy. The major problem is people don't understand how to calculate. So that's what we're going to spend time today. So, where is the first time you heard this word angular momentum? Anyone? Where you heard this thing the first time? Atomic structure. Angular momentum is quantized. MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. Remember that? First time you heard it in chemistry. Angular momentum. This thing is quantized. So L bar. So first thing again, angular momentum. The way we did for energy, same we will do. First for a particle. Angular momentum of a particle. So this is given by, if a particle is going with V, mass M, this is R bar. So here also, right, axis will be defined just like torque. So the angular momentum is given by M R bar cross V bar. What is R bar? R bar is a vector from axis to the particle. V bar is the velocity. So this can be also written as R bar cross MV bar. What is MV bar? Momentum. This is called linear momentum. That is angular momentum. So don't get confused. Put it up. So this can be written as M R V sine theta cross product. So let's see how to calculate this thing. The way we did in torque, we can do here also. Copied. Next page. How do you calculate this thing? You can write this thing as m r v sine theta, meaning you'll write like this. This is v, this is r bar. When you extend this is theta. This is your axis. You can divide the velocity into two components, v cos theta, v sine theta. This is your v perpendicular. So this can be written as m r v perpendicular. Remember we did this in torque. R into F perpendicular or R perpendicular into F. Or you could have taken like this also. M R sine theta into V. This can be taken as M R perpendicular into V. So this is how you find the magnitude. So this is the velocity bar. This is R bar. Theta. Extend the velocity vector and drop a perpendicular. The same thing what we did there also. So here the perpendicular distance would be this guy, which is R sine theta. You can use any one, both are right, you'll get the same answer. So you have to see which is more convenient, MRV perpendicular or MR perpendicular V. Hold on, any doubts please ask me. It looks quite similar to the torque calculation what we did. Copied. Next thing. What about the direction? Same thing we did in dot. Assume R bar is a rod and see the tendency of it to rotate. Normally only two directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Then use your right hand rule. Example. Suppose V bar was like this, R bar was like this. This was the axis. The R bar would have rotated this way, clockwise, minus kk. So you get the magnitude from the previous page MBR, and here this will give you the magnitude and direction. Axis. This is R bar. This is V bar. This you would have rotated this way, anti-clockwise. So if you see, there's a lot of resemblance, with the torque. Only the formula is different, MBR. If you remember in torque also, what is R bar? Vector from the axis to the point where force is applied. Put it on, have a look at this. Any doubts, please ask me. Any doubt, get it cleared up, because angular momentum, right? Rotation, this is the toughest part. And if you know how to calculate angular momentum properly, it is very easy to solve. Most people have a problem because they don't know how to calculate, first of all. So have a look at it. Clear? Next thing. Copied. So you know how to find magnitude, you know how to find direction. So let's see some problems on that. We have mass of 2 kg, right? He is moving with velocity 2y minus 3j plus 4k. R bar is I minus 2j plus 3k. Find L bar. MR cross V bar. Get it, cross product. Answers? Any answers? First find R cross V bar. I, J, K. 1 minus 2, 3. 2 minus 3, 4. How much is this? I into, hope everyone knows how to do the cross product. Minus 8 plus 9 minus J into 4 minus 6 minus 3 plus 4. I cap plus 2J cap plus K cap. This is R cross V. The angular momentum will be M into R cross V. M is 2. So 2I plus 4J plus 2K. Got this? Any doubts on this? Next thing. So saw the new timetable. People must be happy about it. Whatever backlog you have now, cover it up in 1 week. 1 week you play and do anything you want. I don't know where you are going also. Anyways, relax a little bit. Things are quite messed up also outside. People are stressed out. Next thing. A particle of mass 5 kg at origin moves with V bar, which is 3I minus J plus 4. Find angular momentum about A, where A ka points are 1, 2, 3. Get it? Find the angular momentum about point A for a particle which is passing through the origin. Velocity is 3I minus J plus 4K. So there is a trap. What is R bar? That is a trap. Anyone?
Minus I cap minus 2J cap minus 3K cap.
The particle is going like this. Now this is V bar. This would be R bar. This is axis. So if I call this points A and O na, R bar is AO bar. It's a vector from the axis to the point where the particle is. Don't take I plus 2J plus 3K. That is the most common mistake. We have done this in torque also. So what is A to O bar? Means you're going from A to O. So O is final, A is initial. Final minus initial. 0 minus 1 I cap. 0 minus 2 J cap. 0 minus 3 K cap. Minus I minus 2J minus 3K. That's your R bar. Find R cross V bar. What is this? Minus 11I. Minus 4 plus 9. So minus 5J. Hmm, 7K. Right? What is L bar? MR cross V bar. Just multiply that 5 now. Check your answers. Anything you didn't get, please ask me. I directly wrote that down. Huh? You check your calculations. Next one. All got this thing. Other scams on. So we have a particle here going with speed v, mass m. It is passing through this point 0, d. So this point is the origin. This point is A. This point is B, which is 3d, minus d. This point is C, which is minus d, 4d, 3d. So there are 4 points O, A, B, C. Find angular momentum about O, A, B, C. So here a particle of mass m goes parallel to the x-axis. Put it on. I'll show you one. Give it a try, but again, I told you you're not interested in the this R bar. You're interested in the perpendicular distances. So it really doesn't matter where the particle is. Let me help you with one. This is going with V, mass M. This is O, na, about O. You're not actually interested where is the particle. You want just want the perpendicular distance. This is the perpendicular distance. Mass, velocity, perpendicular distance. What is the direction? This would have rotated like this, na? This is V. This is the perpendicular distance. This is the axis. We will rotate like this. So it is minus k cap. Got it? You have to get the direction and the magnitude. This is going with V. This is A. Look at here. This is R bar. That is V bar. Both are parallel. So if they are parallel, what will happen to the cross product? 0. Basically, there's no perpendicular distance. Na? So angular moment about A is 0. Now can you do for C and D? Get it? B and C. Give it a try. I'll give you a minute more. Okay. Next about B and D. B is here. 3D, comma minus D. Velocity V is here. So I can extend the vector, drop a perpendicular. So this distance would be 2D. Like I said, we are not actually interested where is the velocity also. It can be anywhere. So L about B would be M V 2D. That is also minus K cap. Clear? This is V, C is here now. Minus D, comma 3D. 3D only, na? 4D. Extend the vector, drop a perpendicular. This would be 2D because this is already at a D height. Hope everyone is getting that. The only catch will be, in this case, the direction would be this rotation. It will be MV2D plus K cap. Check out the magnitudes and the signs. Anything you didn't get asked me. Next one. A particle is projected with un theta mass m. Who is the point of projection? Find angular momentum about O, right? About point of projection when at three cases. Initially, meaning at the point of projection, at h max, when the particle is at the maximum height. Third, when it is landing on the ground, when it is about to land. Are you getting it? Three different scenarios. So the particle is flying like this. I want you to find the angular momentum here, here, here. When it is leaving, when it is at the h max, when it is falling on the ground. Gravity is there, basic projectile motion. Try, I'll give you 2 minutes. What is the initial one?
0.
0, no? It is passing through the point, right? Initially, velocity is passing through that point, O. So LO initially is 0. R perpendicular is 0. So V bar is passing through. Then next one. What about H max? What is the speed at the H max?
U cos theta.
U cos theta. So you should remember all this stuff. So extend the velocity vector, drop the perpendicular. What is the perpendicular distance? H max, na? The perpendicular distance is H max. Done. So LO would be M U cos theta H max. Direction would be minus K cap because it would be rotating this way. What is H max? U square sine square theta by 2G. When it is landing on the ground, put it down. I'll show you in the next page. Next thing. The third one, when it is landing on the ground, where it will land? The range, na? So it will come with speed u and land also with theta only, same speed and same angle, but direction is changed. Now, there are two ways you can do. See, velocity u is there, either extend the vector, drop a perpendicular, or divide velocity into components. You can do either way. So this is theta. So this would be u sine theta. So this is your u perpendicular, or you don't want that. Extend the vector, drop it. This is your r perpendicular, which is nothing but range sine theta. Are you getting? You can use any one. Both are right only. But don't use both at the same time. M, U, R perpendicular, or M, R perpendicular. You can use any one. Or M. This would be what? M, R sine theta. If you see, you get the same answer. The range is U square sine 2 theta by G. The second question was asked in NEET. Find the angular momentum at the highest point. So you can use any one. Use R perpendicular, U perpendicular. You get the same. Next thing. Turn the page. Let's see one more. So we have a pendulum here, which is going in a circle like this. Conical pendulum. We have done this in circular motion. This is going with speed u. The length of the thread is L, and this is theta. This is O. This is O dash. O is center of circle. O dash is the point of suspension. You know how they'll ask this in the exam? The angular momentum about O is constant, O dash is constant. O is not constant, O dash is not constant. O is constant, O dash is not constant. They'll play like that with 4 things. So, but we'll calculate it. Find angular momentum about O and angular momentum about O dash. O is the point where the string is attached. O is the center of the circle. Try. What is the yellow? I'll give you a minute more. Try. See. Then it is going in a circle now. This is V. This is O. This is the perpendicular distance, no? Which is anyway perpendicular, tangent. So that is R. What is R? L sin theta. Because see, this radius is there. This radius is R, which is L sin theta, na, opposite side. So what is the angular momentum about O? M V R, which is MV L sin theta. What about the direction? So if this is velocity V, this was your R bar, meaning R bar would be like this. R cross V bar should be perpendicular to the plane. It should be like this. Are you getting how the direction is? V is tangential, R is away from the center, L bar is perpendicular to the circle. All three are mutually perpendicular. Cross product, no? Meaning L bar will be like this. Hope you're able to visualize how it is. This is the velocity. So at every point, right, V is changing. So L bar will be rotating like this, but direction is pointing upwards. K cap. The next one, the O dash is an interesting one. So if you see LO is constant. Magnitude is MVL sin theta, direction is also constant. Look at LO dash. Listen carefully, huh? The diagram, if you get it, it is very easy. This is your R bar. This is your velocity bar. Can you see they're already perpendicular? They're already perpendicular. There's no need to take any components. That R bar and B bar are already perpendicular. How is L bar then? L bar will be like this, out of the plane. No? So it will be like this thing. See, this would be L bar. This would be V bar. That's your R bar. If you see these two are perpendicular, these two are perpendicular. You're getting how it is L bar is rotating? If you look at the L bar direction, it will be like this. It's like a crown. L bar is not constant. L bar direction is changing. If you look at the magnitude here, LO dash, that will be M, L, V directly. There is no perpendicular component. So in this case, magnitude is constant, but direction is changing. You can see the vector, how it is pointing. Once it is pointing this way, once it is pointing this way, this way, this way. So direction is changing. It's like a crown ka shape. It's a good question, the theoretical. This was asked in JEE like 2004, 7 or 8. The angular momentum about O dash is constant. Angular momentum about O dash, magnitude is constant. Magnitude is constant. Direction is not constant. Put it on properly. Hope you got the diagram. That basically here the string is already perpendicular to velocity. Copied. Next one. So normally that is how you calculate angular momentum for a particle. So those are all the different variations. So you're just playing with the MR cross. Others, keep your hands on. Next thing. So that is about the particle. Angular momentum of a rotating body. So we're done with the particle. Now rotation. So if you have any random body here and rotating with omega, take a particle mi going in a circle of radius r. This thing has a velocity vi, which is ri omega. So what is the angular momentum of the ith particle? Mi ri vi, which is mi ri square omega. So L bar of the body would be summation sigma Li, which is sigma mi ri square. You saw this somewhere, it popped up again. See, that is moment of inertia. Na? This is the third time that comes. That is the reason why we calculated beforehand. So L bar about an axis is equal to angular momentum about an axis is moment of inertia about the same axis into omega. If you see, this thing quite resembles, the linear momentum. P is equal to mv. Put it on. Copied. Next thing. Now look at this thing. Torque is also given by dl by dt. This is quite similar to force, which is dp by dt. Force is rate of change of linear momentum. So if you shift dt that side, you get dl, and if you integrate on both sides, you get integral dl, which is nothing but delta L, which is L final minus L initial. So this is change in angular momentum. So torque into time will give you change in angular momentum. If you remember, force into time used to give you change in linear momentum. This is called angular impulse. If you remember, linear impulse meaning change in momentum, angular impulse means change in angular momentum. So if someone asks you find angular impulse, you have to do simply L final minus L initial. And we know torque dl by dt. What is L? I omega. So we can use that UV rule. You get I d omega by dt plus omega di by dt. Now if I is constant, then the second term becomes 0. This also we have seen in second law. This we write as torque is equal to I alpha. So this equation which we are using, torque is equal to I alpha, is valid only when I is constant. I is changing, you can't do that. Same way, F is equal to ma is valid only when m is constant. If you see, it quite resembles Newton's second law. F का place में torque, I का place में m, and omega का place में v. Put it up. Others, keep your camps on. Copy. Put it on. Put it on. Next thing. This is the third conservation that you're learning. First was energy, second was linear, and third was angular momentum. So out of all, if you ask me, this was the more powerful angle of conservation. We know torque is dl by dt. Suppose if torque is 0, then dl by dt is also 0. This implies L bar is constant. That is L initial is equal to L final. So if torque about an axis is 0, then angular momentum is conserved about only that axis. You can't conserve about any random point. Put it up. Clear. Next thing. Let's see how to calculate few things. So you have a solid sphere rotating with omega. You have a ring rotating about this point with omega. You have a disk rotating with omega. Find angular momentum. L is I omega basically directly. If you see, this is parallel to the plane. It's a tangent and parallel to the plane. If it is perpendicular, I would have drawn like this. L is I omega. Get it? So you just need to know I ka value. Next thing. Answer. The first one, angular momentum will be I omega. What is I? 2 by 5 mr square. So you just need to take I and just multiply with omega. What about this thing? This is mr square, na? Parallel axis theorem. 2 mr square omega. This thing. This is mr square by 4. Disk passing through the center and parallel. Plus r square, mr square, parallel axis theorem. Check it out. Any doubts? Anyone didn't get this thing? See. Next thing, angular momentum of a rolling body. If you see something similar, we did in energy also. For a particle, half mv square, then half I omega square, then combination. So again, this is the third time we are encountering the same thing. So if something is going with v and omega, you can split that into pure translation and pure rotation, like what we did in energy. So angular momentum of a body angular momentum of center of mass, angular momentum about center of mass, meaning you treat the center of mass like a particle, find the angular momentum, and then stand on the center of mass and find the rotational angular momentum. Put it on, I'll show you an example. Next. Turn the page. So we have a solid sphere which is going with B omega. There are 3 points here, okay? A, B, this is C. 3 points ABC. I want to find angular momentum about ABC. Listen carefully, I'll show one. First, let's find about A. So this is going with B. This is your point A. Angular momentum of center of mass. Extend the velocity vector, drop the perpendicular. Meaning you treat the center of mass like a particle and you calculate it. So L about A is angular momentum of center of mass. So what is off center of mass? M, V, this perpendicular distance is R. Doesn't make sense? Just extend the velocity vector, drop the perpendicular. You treat center of mass like a particle. What is the direction? Minus K cap. Second thing, about center of mass. Stand on the center of mass. What will you think? Everything is rotating in a circle, na? ICM omega direction is clockwise, minus K cap. That's it. Treat center of mass like a particle, find MRV. And stand on the center of mass, find that ICM omega. You can simplify this, MVR minus K cap. What is ICM? 2 by 5 MR square. Put it down, try for B and C, I'll show you. Just give it a try, see whatever you can do. Let's see. Look at B. It's going like this. B is here. So this is R bar, na? Both are parallel. So angular momentum about B would be 0 because it is parallel. Plus angular momentum about center of mass. So stand on the center of mass, which is ICM omega minus K cap. If you see, the second part will always remain same. So the answer would be 2 by 5 MR square omega. Is this fine? What about C? So C is standing here. This is the velocity. Extend the velocity, drop the perpendicular. So angular momentum about C would be M R V. Only difference will be plus k cap now, because this will rotate this way. Plus ICM omega minus k cap. Because when you stand on the center of mass, you will see rotating clockwise only. So MRV plus k cap plus 2 by 5 MR square omega minus k cap. Any doubts on this? Take it out. Any stuff you didn't get, please ask. These are important. You should know how to calculate. This is what I was saying. So I'm treating the centromers like a particle. I calculated. When I stand on the centromers, I'll see pure rotation. I calculated. The directions are important. Others, keep your cams on. Any step you didn't get, please ask me. Let me show you one more like this. Here, next one. I'll give you a similar one now. You guys try. Top view, you have a rod. Mass M, length L. The rod is going with V and rotating with omega. You know how is this? It's like keep a pen on the table and hit it. So it'll roll and go. Are you able to visualize when you play the pen game? When you hit the pen, how does it go? Like that. So a rod is placed on a table. So this is point A. This is point B. Only thing now, I replace that solid sphere with a rod. This is the point C. So this is L by 2, exactly middle. Find angular momentum about ABC. Let's see. the center of mass is going like this. Extend the velocity vector, drop the perpendicular. See, the story is always same. So what is the angular momentum about it? M V L by 2. That's the perpendicular distance. Which way? Minus k cap. How do you know that? See the rotation. It is going clockwise. Plus ICM omega. You're standing on the center of mass. Which way? That is also minus k cap. ICM is how much? ML square by 12. But we have to just change that only. Next thing, this is V, this is B. This is R bar. The angular momentum about V bar, the first part is 0. The second part will be ICM omega minus k cap. Same thing. This thing, the perpendicular distance would be this. Only difference would be, it will be plus now. Hope everyone got this. Any step you didn't get, please ask me. The sign, the magnitude, anything. So out of all the angular momentum, these things are a little tough to do, the rolling ones. You have to calculate both the components. Put it on, have a look at this. Any doubts, ask me. Clear? Next one. So that is how you calculate the angular momentum for a particle, for a purely rotating body, for a rolling body. Now next thing. So let's see one or two problems also on this. Mostly, right? Most of the chapter will be done by next class. And once you guys come back from the vacation, we'll have one more session where we'll revise everything, and then we'll close it off. Chapter is going on for how many? 1.5 months. Big chapter. Right? So first step, you know the standard. Draw the FBD. Second thing, find an axis about which torque is 0. Then if torque is 0 about that axis, then angular momentum about that axis is constant. Therefore, angular momentum about that axis is 0, constant. Find initial and final angular momentum about that axis. Equate them. That's it. Put on the steps. Let's see one or two problems on this. Copy. Let's see a question. This angular momentum concept, right, is quite useful when you're studying astronomy. We have sun here, and we have a comet. We will do this again in gravitation. Comet goes around the sun in an elliptical orbit due to gravitational force. Due to sun's gravity. So this point is A and this point is B. So this VA is 5. This VB I don't know. This is RA, which is 5R. This is RB, which is R. So A is the farthest point. B is the closest point. I think there's a name, apogee, pedigree, something like that. There's a name for this. So the question is find VB. So when the comet goes far from the sun, the speed is v. When it comes closest to the sun, what is the new speed? Think, how is this related to angular momentum? Think for a moment, then I'll show you. Listen, I'll tell you what happens. Copy the question. Put it on, put it on. Let me show you. First thing, FBD. The sun is here. Now, when the comet is at different places, the question is actually very easy to solve, but you should know the steps. How is the gravitational force? It's always towards the sun, no? Great. That means torque about the sun is 0. Do you agree? If all the forces are passing through the sun, if you take torque about the sun, isn't the torque 0? Agrees with the statement, everyone? If the force is always passing through the sun, then the torque about the sun is 0. Therefore, L about the sun is constant. Then you're done. So this is point B, A, this is point B. So this is VB, this is RB. This is VA, the perpendicular distance is RA. LA is equal to LB. M, VA, RA, VB, RB. VA is V, RA is 5R, VB is V, RB is R. So VB is 5V. That's it. Straightforward. V into R is constant. So here the concept is the gravitational force is always passing through the sun. Therefore, the torque about the sun is 0. Therefore, angular momentum is always constant in that ellipse. Copied? Next thing. Put on, put it on. We have a planet here rotating with omega. So due to internal forces, this happens normally in stars. When the star ka fuel gets over, right, in the last stage of its life, it shrinks. It's like a supernova explosion. Then it shrinks to half the radius. Meaning it becomes smaller, but mass is same. And angular velocity changes to omega dash. Find new omega. So you have a planet rotating with omega, mass and radius are. For some reason, it shrank into half the radius. So find the new angular velocity. This was asked in both the exams, NEET and JEE. Get it? Finish off. This is the last one for the day. show you. External forces are 0. Therefore, torque is 0. If torque is 0, then L bar is constant. That means I1 omega 1 is I2 omega 2. Initial moment of inertia is 2 by 5 mr square. Final moment of inertia 2 by 5 m is same, but r by 2 whole square. You end up with omega dash is 4 omega. This rotates 4 times faster.